All Three Beards Media podcasts originate from the Gravitate Co-working Studio, sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company.
Drop it.
Welcome back to a playoff edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. I am Ted Hawley, joined here as always with my co-host Justin Smool, and we are brought to you by the Revelton Distilling Company and Gravitate Co-working Studios, and we are proud members of the Three Beards Media family. Justin, what's happening, buddy?
Nothing, man. Playoff football, and just a brutal day in Iowa.
It is. It's one of those. If you're not used to snow, it's hard to describe to our friends that aren't from here.
Right.
Katie's boss is based in Louisiana, so I think he has a little hard time understanding that. It's like, so snow, that means you can't go out, and it's legit. They really just don't get it because
no, they don't. Right.
So you can't go anywhere. And it's like, no, can't drive. There's no school.
Nothing. It's pretty much shut down everywhere.
Yeah, it is. Which is which is great. I wanted to watch the Celtics last night, and that got ugly quick. Which you knew was going to be coming off a back-to-back. But just kind of a recap a little bit. We had last week off with some unfortunate incidents that came up with people close to us there,
right?
In Perry, and our thoughts and prayers still go out to everybody in the community there. But there's a full slate this weekend. And just won't spend a lot of time on last week. Scab Week's always weird anyways, but we end up going 2-3 on our circle plays, finishing us the season at 50-35, just under 60%, right at 59% there. After our 5-0 week, we kind of had a rough, just some near misses again. I think we went 1-4, 3-2, 2-3 finish. So and we took 62% to get in the money again. I think that's 2 or 3 years in a row with that, and we kind of had that benchmark, and we were hovering around right there.
We were right there.
That's how it goes. Yeah, it was right there. We'll take that again next year to get in that same position. Just have a strong finish.
Yeah,
but I had us both going 3-2 on our personal cards last week, put me at 50-45-2 in the season, and you at 54-46-5 on this season. I think it's got me. I think that's like 50, maybe 53, 54% for me off the top of my head. I think you'd right at 55. So we've kind of been off a little bit the last month as well. So December was a little mean to us, but it's playoff week.
Yeah.
There is some weather, which is going to make for some things very interesting. For the lines, I'll just kind of run through all the lines here for everybody for the 6 games this weekend, and then we can kind of go through it. But before we get in those lines, you got to be the happiest guy on the planet. Brian Ferentz doesn't have a job anymore. Nick Saban's not coaching football. Belichick's out in New England. That's the perfect 3, right? I don't know anybody else.
Yeah, they should all go coach together somewhere.
You say that, but there's a really good chance that Brian Ferentz is going to be the tight end coach wherever Belichick goes.
I mean, he's fine. Yeah, just put him at a position.
He's actually a really good tight end coach.
Yeah, he would be fine. Which is irrelevant, but just put him there. I mean, he doesn't belong anything meaningful. Neither does Bill at this point. He's a DC at best, and
get out of here. That's just nuts. Oh man. The thing is people believe you when you say this stuff. Yeah. They don't know you're going tongue-in-cheek, and that's why it's hilarious to watch you do stuff. Besides the Ferentz stuff, you actually do mean what you say.
Yeah, I do believe. Yeah, but I mean, Bill's thing, it's truthfully, though, I think he is so stubborn. It's just like Kirk. They're stubborn to a fault, and at some point, if you refuse to change or do anything different, man, it's just hard to back those guys, eventually time just wears out.
Well, he gets a little other chance here because it doesn't sound like he's done coaching. Pete Carroll was the other.
That was a surprise.
Surprise. And he kind of came out today, too. They announced he's going to be within the organization. He kind of said non-football people made this decision. So he's kind of kicking and screaming here a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of made it sound like he wanted to coach still, too. Atlanta seems to be the popular hotspot for where Bill's going to land. He has a chance to reinvent himself there if he wants to. Like, look, you put your head in the ground there in New England. Go get a name on offense and just go focus on the defensive side of the ball there. And let something just get completely out of the way. You know what it's going to be. He's going to bring McDaniels in as his OC.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to – what's his name's going to get fired in Philly pretty quick here too. He just got the interim DC job here recently. Patricia. It's going to be the same song and dance. It's going to drive Tristan Monahan crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it will be interesting. The Pete Carroll thing, that one to me is be careful for what you wish for, man.
He just went 9-8 with that group again. I mean,
back to back. I mean, you made the playoffs last year. It came down to the wire this season, and I mean, like that team they aren't 11-win team. Like, so what? I mean, what realistically do you expect out of Bill? Or out of Pete? Pete.
Look, and they're in their 70s, so it'll just be interesting to see if they get another chance. Now, Saban was the biggest one to me that I thought came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And it looks like the Washington guy, DeBoer, is going to get that job. It sounds like it's like everything's done, but announcing it. It'll be interesting to see what Washington does after that. Grubb, the OC, that's the Buena Vista guy.
Yep.
He got offered the Bama OC job last year before Tommy Rees took it, and he turned it down to stay. So it'll be interesting to see if he's going to go be his OC there. Or if he gets a crack to be the head coach in Washington.
Yeah, he obviously deserves, but man, that's just tough. You know, I feel bad if he did take it because I feel like he's put in a spot that he can only fail because losing Penix and you're losing some studs, man. You know, like that's just hard to replace, you know, and people really fall prisoner of the moment in terms of like you have a couple of good seasons. They think, oh, this is just repeatable. Man, it's not. It's just not. It's really tough.
Well, it'll be interesting for those guys to see because you're going to have to – recruiting's just different down there. You're going to have to get in the belly of the beast. But
well, I think that's truthfully Saban's main thing, why he probably got tired of when your backups are now 3 stars and he's used to his backups being like first-round draft picks next year.
Yeah. Well, but he's a great recruiter too, and he knows what it takes. I think he's got burnt out. He's like, this new coaching thing isn't for me. So don't be shocked if he does a year in TV and you see him resurface in the NFL somewhere too, because that's the only unfinished business he has left.
I mean, he doesn't. Neither him nor Belichick. They have nothing to prove to anybody. So, I mean, but I know like those guys, it's hard for them to stay away because they don't know what the heck to do. So,
all right, well, let's jump into it here. We got 6 games. The Browns are 2-point favorites at Houston. Miami is 5-point dogs on the road at Kansas City. The Browns over-under is 44.5. Miami over-under is 44. The Steelers are 9-point dogs at Buffalo. The over-under is down to 33.5 points there. It opened at 39 with that weather. It's cranked down to almost an Iowa football line.
Yeah.
Green Bay's at Dallas. Dallas 7-point favorites. The over-under is 50.5 there. And the Rams are 3-point dogs at Detroit, and that's on Sunday night. And the over-under is 51.5. And then on Monday night, which we need to talk about this too. I don't like Monday night games for the playoffs.
I don't either.
Philly -3 at Tampa, and the over-under is 43.5 there.
Yeah, put you on a short week for the next one.
So I don't understand that. Like, especially with some,
they're flexing their muscle.
Boy, I just think that, I mean, at least they didn't have another NFC potential opponent that's playing on Saturday compared to Monday. I mean, 2 days
that's a lot.
That's an extra week to get your bodies right. But still playing Monday night, I think, is to a disadvantage there a little bit.
I agree.
It is what it is.
Right.
You're going to see a lot of – and they knew what they were doing, putting Kansas City in that Peacock game, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Of course they did.
Taylor Swift gets eyeballs. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to do that. I mean, that was the NFL and Peacock knew where they were going with that game. They were just like, Kansas City, don't let the wheels completely come off and miss the playoffs because that was their dream scenario to get
for their
streaming game, which I'm a little surprised they did. I mean, we know it's going this direction anyway, but anytime it happens like that, it always for an NFL game, an NFL playoff game, to have subscription. It's coming though. There's going to be more of this, not less.
Yeah, correct. Yep. I mean, I mean, with YouTube already taking over, right? I mean, first time in like forever, since DirecTV's lost, right? Like everything's changing, man, and that's just how this is going to go.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, I have 6 plays in 6 games. The only game do not have on the card is the Pittsburgh Buffalo game. Just the weather has it weird to me. I'm still out of the 3,000 people left in my Survivor thing they do out of Lincoln up there. I'm one of 35 people still left. I have 2 years ago, you were one of the final 6 that chopped in it.
Yep.
Pistol and I shared a pick last year and made it all the way through, so I'm hoping to repeat there. But I have Buffalo right now. Man, I got to maybe think about moving off it, but it's just weather for me.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean, you'll lose if you survive this week. Next weekend, you'll for sure lose some. I mean, all those games are going to be 3-point spreads, 3 and 2-point spreads. So,
well, I'll start with the first game there on Saturday. I'm going to go against the grain here a little bit. I love the Browns and their story and everything, and just it all seems. I'm a big proponent of playing the dogs on Wild Card Weekend anyway. It's been good to be in the past doing it, and all the reasons say the Browns should be more than a 2-point favorite here, and they're not. I think it's telling me something, and everybody's in the public's on the Browns heavy, so I'll take the Texans +2.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to make. The Browns defense has struggled away from home this season, so that definitely is a concern and something that goes into your favor.
Delpit on the back end, them not having Delpit such a big deal. He's such a no name to probably the average football fan that they don't realize how good he is.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He's one of the top DBs in the NFL.
Right. Yep. No, I completely agree with that. Let's see. I've only got 3 plays. I'm going to take the Eagles -3 at Tampa. I just think this is a crazy buy low spot here on Philly. I mean, everyone has wrote them off, and now it's time to put everything behind you. And it's playoff football time, right? So leave your ego in the locker room if can. I mean, they should. But Tampa, hey, props to them. They've overachieved all season. Baker's had a great year.
Good for you, Baker. Awesome.
Yeah, Baker's had a great year. But
he's getting paid in off season. It's not by Tampa, and it will be by Tampa. But somebody's going to give him a 2-3 year deal.
Yeah, he deserves a little bit of time.
He's going to get that Geno Smith deal.
You can win with him.
Look, this is going to be two franchises that historically don't get to the playoffs to win. He got a playoff win with the Browns. If he comes and gets another playoff win with another franchise, how many quarterbacks have done that? How many quarterbacks have won playoff games with 2 franchises? There's probably the list can't be that long, especially recent.
Well, no, and too, like to Baker's credit, like you see all these massive contracts that they hand out like candy all the time, and it's like, what are we doing here in the NFL? You see it. I mean, people will, they want the new and flashy thing, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, now I think like a guy like Kirk Cousins looks pretty good.
I mean, right?
Yeah. I mean.
Well, I mean, even look at the Browns. Look at what they did.
Yeah.
You kind of sold your soul a little bit too to give them that deal, all guaranteed money.
They're going to be hurting in 2 years.
The Browns were doing all right with Watson, but the offense has been actually better with Flacco.
Way better.
So he comes in from being like, oh, the season was over. They'll go back, and he can kind of be the excuse they missed the playoffs here. They kind of rewrited the ship with a 90-year-old Joe Flacco who hasn't looked good forever. I mean, he was terrible in Denver and worse with the Jets, and all of a sudden he's looking better with that offense because he's letting it fly, first of all. But Watson doesn't look great.
There has to be something with the scheme there, right? I mean, in terms of how they're using Flacco, because you just can't come off the couch like that and look like he's lit.
I think he's just letting it rip. I think he is the ultimate I don't care anymore.
He is, but damn, man, like he's not a spring chicken, though.
No, he's not. And that's also the reason I'm on the Texans, too. It's just
rookie quarterbacks do scare me. I will say that in their first game.
They absolutely scare me. I just can't get Joe Flacco at the Broncos out of my head with this guy. I still see him when we brought him in, and that was forever ago.
He's been better than Watson, though. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. For that, I mean, it's
and they lost.
Watson's going to have his leash got real short next year.
Yeah, but and
Because of these.
that's yeah. I mean, bigger picture, and I know we've exchanged texts. It's why I do not believe in paying these quarterbacks because how you moving off Watson now?
Well, you're not. They gave him guaranteed money too,
Yeah,
and that's why
you're
that
not.
contract was the dumbest
So
contract ever.
and the Browns, truthfully, in my opinion, like top to bottom, that they have a fantastic roster.
Yeah, especially when Garrett's playing like that. So
Yeah,
I'm actually so back to where we're at, which is a long way.
Philly -3 was my pick.
Your Eagles, your Eagles play there was so I had Tampa written down at the question mark. I think you're right. This is the one game that I was wishy-washy on that I had down here. You might have got me to lean the Eagles. I might not have played at all. Like I had Tampa written down. I think that's more just me wanting Baker to win there. So
Yeah.
I'll probably cheer for you there, and I'll potentially I even play the Eagles at that point.
Okay.
So I'll cheer for you on that one. I'm gonna go with if the Chiefs would have been a 2.5, 3-point favorite, I think I'd have taken them. This weather makes me not understand the lines moving that way too. So I'm gonna look, Miami's banged up. They're really, really banged up.
They are.
Getting 5 points here just feels like some value. It feels like too much value. I do kind of think the Chiefs are gonna win, but they have struggled to score points too. This isn't the Chiefs of the last couple of years either. So I'm gonna take Miami with the points just because I think 5's a lot.
Yeah. No, this is my second play also. So I'm with you here. I mean, it does somewhat feel like we're maybe missing something or walking into it. I completely agree with you because it's like, why would Kansas City be laying that? But I mean, I think
the Dolphins are banged up. I mean, their entire offensive line is on stuff. Waddle's.
But I mean,
I don't know if he's playing.
You go back to last week in that game, like that game only flipped because of that 98-yard punt return for a touchdown. I mean, that was ultimately the deciding factor.
Yeah.
In Miami still forced 3 turnovers, which Josh Allen just rinse and repeat. He does it every week.
He's the reason you're going to win or the reason you're going to lose. He has both at elite levels.
I actually believe as much hate as I give that guy, like if he had Mahomes' head, he could be the best quarterback in football.
You can argue he still even is with all that crap. That's how good his good is that you can do that many stupid things. And you still, if Josh Allen has the ball and they're down like 4 or 5, you think he has a chance to go and score. And you don't think that about a whole lot of people. And for the first time ever, I don't think that about the Chiefs in the Mahomes era.
I agree.
That offense is so off for the first time ever when he has the ball that late. I'm like, I don't think they can go score.
Nope. I agree.
They don't really have enough playmakers.
Yeah. Nope, I agree. Well, my final play, I mean, I'll just take it since I know the line just dropped, but I Pittsburgh was +10 all week until just like I think today. But
is that where we got him at, Pittsburgh?
Yeah. But I mean, that's just my third one. Simply Rudolph's been an upgrade, and I don't think anyone can say anything different in terms of the Steelers. I think Najee is going to get the ball a ton. He's looked better. I know Watt's out, which is scary. But you know what? I don't trust Allen. I mean, if you recall last year, Allen played Skylar Thompson laying double digits, and that game came down to the wire against the Dolphins, man. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I just think Allen plays. He lets teams just hang around too much for me.
He does. So to have a double-digit spread here is a little much. I'm still leaning at probably keeping him.
I think it's a smart play to do it on your end. Yeah.
My survivor, but if I had to play the game, I think I would take the points with you. So I agree on that. So why don't we go ahead and get a word from our sponsor here quick, and then Chris Shipley, who's actually doing the stuff in the background for us this week, he actually gave us our answer on how many quarterbacks have won with multiple teams. So we'll get to that right after we hear a word from our sponsors.
Why take the best corn in the world and make it into fuel when you could make it into whiskey? That's the question that launched Revelton, Iowa's most visible and fastest growing distillery. Owners Rob and Christy Taylor embrace the grain-to-glass philosophy, sourcing ingredients locally and overseeing on-premises production and bottling at their facility in Osceola. One sip, and you'll agree that Revelton's handcrafted whiskeys, gins, and vodkas are the best you've ever tasted. And with the launch of their rye whiskey, made with 100% Iowa-grown rye and corn, and their new bourbon coming soon, there's more Revelton to love than ever. Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. The great thing about working from home is working from home. The worst thing is working from home, especially for face-to-face collaborations with customers and coworkers. And let's face it, coffee shop meetings are neither private nor professional. So skip the trip to Starbs and investigate Gravitate Co-working Space. For more than 10 years, Gravitate has provided large and small office and conference spaces perfect for hosting meetings, workshops, or other events, as well as private phone booths for confidential conversations. Plus, all spaces include secure fiber internet, free coffee, and access to a kitchenette. All you need is your laptop. Gravitate does the rest. And renting space at Gravitate is surprisingly affordable. An hour of office space costs about the same as venti caramel macchiatos and breakfast sandwiches for two. Daily and monthly rates are also available with no long-term commitment. Learn more at gravitatecoworking.com. That's gravitatecoworking.com.
Thanks again to our sponsors at Revelton and Gravitate. Again, this is the wild card edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. And like I said before we went to the little break there, so there's only 3 quarterbacks that have won with multiple teams. That actually shocks me. I thought it'd be more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it says Tom Brady with the Bucs and Pats, Tobin Rote, who I'm not even sure who that is, with Lions and Chargers, and Peyton Manning, obviously, with Denver and
Indy.
Yeah. So, sorry, I got some dude plowing my drive right now, and I have no idea who it is or why anybody's here doing it. But
That's nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, but right here this year, we have Jared Goff and Joe Flacco. They can try to add themselves to that list, and I don't think either one's going to do it because my favorite play of the week is actually the Rams +3. I've said this before too. My pick is actually my preseason pick is going to be the Niners and Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I just think that they're in a really good spot right now. If they can get in Cup, they've been kind of pulling him along slowly the last couple of weeks. When they've gotten up, he's sat a lot. McVay has that team. That is shocking. The most shocking story to this point of the season for where they're at. You know, the Texans have been in the mix kind of for a while. The turnaround there at midseason for the Rams has been crazy, honestly.
Yeah, no, it really has. McVay's done a heck of a job, and I mean, in that division too. I mean, it wasn't, the Cardinals weren't a great team, but once Kyler came back, they were competitive to a degree. So, yeah, it's a great turnaround, and we'll see what they bring. I mean, Puka is a flat out stud. That guy's the real deal.
5th round steal.
Yeah, I mean,
incredible.
Yeah, that guy's a monster, and he's going to be a problem for years to come.
Well, and they showed the draft portion of him when they got him too, so that part was pretty crazy. But yeah, 5th round steal, another McVay deal. The reason they say they don't care about the early draft picks is because they've done a really good job in finding value. Day 2 and 3. So they do care about their scouting department. They don't value those early picks as the same as a lot of other people do.
Let's face it, most of those times, 70% of them are bust anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you're just got to be the lucky side of the ball.
The Rams did make your card, or you said you
No, they just missed for me. So they would be in. I would use them in my teaser.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. My last plays here, or I had 2 plays for the Dallas game. I'm taking Green Bay +7. I actually got it at 7.5.
Yeah, it was 7.5 pretty much all week.
Yeah, pretty much all week. So I got them with that too. But I do like Dallas in a teaser as well. I think Dallas is going to win. I think this is too many points. Green Bay is really bad defensively, so I do think they're going to be able to attack the secondary. I saw Jair Alexander rolled his ankle this week too in practice for Green Bay. So I see points though coming, and my favorite play in the game is actually the over at 50.5. I just see points, like
I agree
points. So I think Dallas is going to win. I like Green Bay in the points, but I love the over in this game.
Yeah, I think Dallas is going to win. That would be my favorite teaser, 6-point teaser leg option is just tie it into whatever you want, but I would definitely use Dallas down to tease them from -7 to 1.
Well, there you go. You can put on the back end, you can go with the Rams there too. So I actually really like the Rams and the Cowboys in a teaser, 6-7, whatever you like playing there. So that will be probably a go-to for me as well. And again, I loved the Cowboys and the Bills at the start of the week in a teaser. Glad I didn't pull it then, just because I just have to. I mean, 60-mile-an-hour gusts and stuff. You can't even kick field goals with that.
No, that's exactly. I mean,
And for the Steelers, this actually comes back down, makes them to their level a little bit.
yeah, right. I mean,
just put Josh Allen on skates.
Right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Josh Allen's not gonna. I mean, it's fair to say he's probably not gonna go find. It's hard for him to go run one for 25, 30 yards.
It is, and I saw Gabe Davis isn't playing. I mean, he's a guy that gets you 0 catches or 10, but it's just another weapon that's not out there. So, again, I'll be playing the Bills for my survivor. It's gonna be hard to talk me out of that, but yeah, I wasn't nervous about it. I am now.
I mean, but it's still the most logical play when you're just having to have a team win straight up. So I get it.
Sure. Well, that I think that wraps it up for our plays there. I didn't get it. I didn't, again, with this weather, I was going to do some player props and stuff too. And I got to see what it's like at game time. So maybe we can look into some of those. And we actually have right before kick tomorrow. Their socials. I'll try to throw some out there with stuff that I like. So.
Right.
All right, well, I'll run through our plays here quick. I had 5 plays for me and 3 for you. For Justin, I had the Eagles -3, Miami +5, and Pittsburgh +10. And for myself, I had Houston +2, Miami +5, Green Bay +7.5, Dallas and Green Bay over at 50.5, and the Rams +3. So we will go ahead and start our new records for playoff records here moving forward. And hopefully we can make some money this weekend. I'm leaning heavy on the dogs. We'll see how that goes again. But, thanks for following this year. Good luck to everybody this weekend. And let's make some money.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Thanks, everybody. Thanks again to Chris Shipley for helping us in the background today. And good luck this weekend. Cash that ticket.